Toronto, July 27, 2018. Globe NEWSWIRE. Firm Capital Property Trust, FCPT, or the Trust TSXV, FCD.UN, is pleased to announce that it has closed the final tranche of its previously announced non-brokered private placement, the private placement. The trust closed on 296,800 trust units for gross proceeds of approximately $1.9 million for a combined offering of 1,436,840 trust units and gross proceeds of approximately $9 million from both tranches. The trust intends to use the net proceeds of the private placement to fund prospective acquisitions, to repay amounts drawn on the trust's credit facility, and for working capital and general corporate purposes. In connection with the private placement, cash finder's fees in the aggregate amount of $394,013 were paid to certain arm's-length finders. Pursuant to applicable Canadian securities laws, all securities issued pursuant to the initial and final tranches of the private placement are subject to, among other things, a statutory hold period of 4 months and 1 day, which expires on September 30, 2018 and November 28, 2018, respectively. The private placement remains subject to the final approval of the TSXV Venture Exchange. Further information about the trust can be found by selecting the Firm Capital Property Trust link at www.firmcapital.com. About Firm Capital Property Trust. Firm Capital Property Trust is focused on creating long-term value for unit holders, through capital preservation and disciplined investing to achieve stable distributable income. In partnership with management and industry leaders, the Trust's plan is to co-own a diversified property portfolio of multi-residential, flex-industrial, net lease convenience retail, and core service provider professional space. In addition to standalone accretive acquisitions, the Trust will make joint acquisitions with strong financial partners and acquisitions of partial interests from existing ownership groups, in a manner that provides liquidity to those selling owners and professional management for those remaining as partners. Firm Capital Realty Partners Inc., through a structure focused on an alignment of interests with the Trust, sources, syndicates and property and asset manages investments on behalf of the Trust. Forward-looking information. This press release may contain forward-looking statements. In some cases, forward-looking statements can be identified by the use of words such as may, will, should, expect, plan, anticipate, believe, estimate, predict, potential, continue, and by discussions of strategies that involve risks and uncertainties. The forward-looking statements are based on certain key expectations and assumptions made by the Trust. By their nature, forward-looking statements involve numerous assumptions, inherent risks and uncertainties, both general and specific, that contribute to the possibility that the predictions, forecasts, projections and various future events, including the subject private placement, will not occur, in whole or in part. Although management of the Trust believes that the expectations reflected in the forward-looking statements are reasonable, there can be no assurance that future results, levels of activity, performance or achievements will occur as anticipated. Neither the Trust nor any other person assumes responsibility for the accuracy and completeness of any forward-looking statements, and no one has any obligation to update or revise any forward-looking statement, whether as a result of new information, future events or such other factors which affect this information, except as required by law. This press release shall not constitute an offer to sell or the solicitation of an offer to buy, which may be made only by means of a prospectus, nor shall there be any sale of the Trust units in any state, province or other jurisdiction in which such offer, solicitation or sale would be unlawful prior to registration or qualification under securities laws of any such state, province or other jurisdiction. The trust units of the Firm Capital Property Trust have not been, and will not be registered under the U.S. Securities Act of 1933, as amended, and may not be offered, sold or delivered in the United States absent registration or an application for exemption from the registration requirements of U.S. securities laws. Neither the TSXV Venture Exchange nor its regulation services provider, as that term is defined in policies of the TSXV Venture Exchange, accepts responsibility for the adequacy or accuracy of this release. For further information, please contact Robert McKees and President.